Hollywood's golden age gave the world some of the most iconic leading men in cinematic history. Dashing, debonair gentlemen who seemed to embody America's ideals of masculinity, charm, and honor. They played noble heroes on screen, men audiences could admire, emulate, or fantasize about. But behind those million-dollar smiles and carefully tailored suits, a far darker truth lurked. Many of these stars lived double lives as serial philanderers, their private exploits often more scandalous than any role they played. Studios didn't just build these men into stars, they protected them. Bribes, cover-ups, planted stories, and coerced silence created an image of perfection while the reality was chaos. What you're about to discover doesn't appear in official biographies or polished documentaries. From secret children to hotel room scandals, from wives humiliated at home to young co-stars manipulated into silence, these men consistently betrayed the trust of the women closest to them. Here are 10 Golden Age stars whose real-life romantic lives were more scandalous than any Hollywood script. That if this kind of story touches your heart, if you're someone who cares about truth, responsibility, and speaking up for the voiceless, please like this video, subscribe to our channel, and share it with someone who should hear it. Let's get started. 1. Clark Gable, the king of infidelity. Clark Gable wasn't just the king of Hollywood, he was arguably the king of cheating. With his signature smirk and charm that seemed to bend the world to his will, Gable conquered the box office and bedrooms with equal aplomb. He played honorable men on screen, but off-screen he had a voracious appetite for women, and the studio knew it. His affairs were open secrets at MGM. Almost every female co-star faced his advances. According to a former studio insider, Gable had a routine. On day one of filming, he'd pick his target. By week's end, he'd make his move. Directors sometimes scheduled scenes around when Gable's affairs were expected to heat up. One of the most scandalous incidents involved Loretta Young during Call of the Wild 1935. Their brief affair led to a pregnancy that Young had to hide, ultimately adopting her own daughter to prevent a career-ending scandal. MGM fixers, including Louis B. Mayer, orchestrated every detail of the cover-up. Even during his marriage to Carole Lombard, often romanticized as Hollywood's ideal love, Gable continued his womanizing, a pattern that only intensified after Lombard's tragic death in 1942. Gable's life showed a chilling duality. The beloved star who could make audiences swoon was also a man who betrayed virtually every woman he was close to. 2. Errol Flynn, the swashbuckling womanizer. If Hollywood had a dictionary for womanizer, Errol Flynn's face would be next to the entry. The Australian actor who made swords, adventure, and charm synonymous with his name wasn't just playing a rogue on screen, he lived it off-screen. Flynn's conquests were legendary. Accounts, including his own boasts, claim he slept with thousands of women, ranging from co-stars and society women to underage fans. A fact that led to a highly publicized trial in 1942. Though acquitted, the scandal was managed through legal maneuvering and studio payoffs. His marriages, Lily Damita, Nora Eddington, and Patrice Wymore, were punctuated with relentless infidelity. Publicly, he could charm and impress audiences. Privately, he treated fidelity as optional, sometimes brazenly pursuing other women even when his wife was nearby. Over time, as age and excess took their toll, Flynn's charm faded, but his predatory habits persisted. Flynn's story is a cautionary tale. Charisma can hide moral corruption, but notoriety eventually catches up. 3. Frank Sinatra, the voice that ruined marriages. Frank Sinatra's music could make hearts melt, but his relationships often ended in heartbreak. From the early days with Nancy Barbado to his marriage to Ava Gardner, Sinatra's pattern of infidelity was relentless. Fans saw the romantic idol singing tender love songs. Behind the scenes, Sinatra treated women as disposable, orchestrating lineups of admirers outside dressing rooms, with studio staff facilitating encounters and hotel arrangements. His marriages followed the same destructive pattern. Devotion at first, followed quickly by infidelity. Even after marrying Gardner, his philandering continued, leading to explosive confrontations and mutual affairs. Sinatra's life was a striking contradiction. The man whose songs conveyed deep emotion often treated real women as objects, highlighting the disconnect between public persona and private behavior. 4. Spencer Tracy, the secret conscience of Hollywood. Spencer Tracy embodied moral authority on screen, the principled everyman, the judge, the priest, the man audiences trusted. Off-screen, however, he carried on a decades-long extramarital affair with Katharine Hepburn while remaining married to Louise Treadwell. Tracy's Catholic faith and concern for public image kept him legally married, but his heart and loyalty were elsewhere. His relationship with Hepburn spanned 26 years, conducted discreetly, with both parties understanding it would remain private. Yet Tracy's infidelity wasn't limited to Hepburn. His early career included multiple affairs that studio fixers quietly managed. Unlike many contemporaries, Tracy appeared tormented by guilt, using alcohol to numb the tension between his public image and private life. This internal conflict made him a tragic figure, a man trapped between moral ideals and personal desires. 5. Mickey Rooney, the little man with a big appetite. Mickey Rooney stood just 5 feet 2 inches, but his romantic escapades were colossal. Known for his boyish charm as Andy Hardy, Rooney's personal life was marked by serial infidelity across 8 marriages. Rooney had a systematic approach. Identify potential conquests early on film sets, cultivate their interest, and maintain a continuous string of affairs even while married. His pattern repeated endlessly: intense courtship, marriage, and almost immediate return to womanizing. Studio fixers worked tirelessly to protect his wholesome image, paying off women and suppressing rumors. Rooney's story shows a stark dissonance. The wholesome teen idol was, in real life, incapable of the fidelity his roles suggested. 6. Cary Grant, the charmer who couldn't commit. Cary Grant personified sophistication on screen, yet off-screen he struggled with fidelity. Grant married 5 times, each marriage eventually unraveling due to his infidelity. Known for methodical charm, he pursued women with precision, crafting personas to appeal to each target. Hollywood rumors hinted at complex relationships with other men, adding layers to his public-private contradictions. His studio-managed image carefully masked these indiscretions, ensuring that audiences saw a romantic ideal rather than a serial philanderer. Even when Grant appeared devoted, his eye wandered, revealing a man searching endlessly for connection, yet unable to remain faithful. 7. Robert Mitchum, the bad boy who came home. Robert Mitchum cultivated an image of dangerous masculinity, playing anti-heroes and villains on screen. Off-screen, he managed multiple affairs while maintaining a 57-year marriage to Dorothy Spence. Mitchum compartmentalized his life, family in one sphere, affairs in another. Some relationships were long-term and emotionally substantive, yet he managed to keep his wife and family largely shielded from public scandal. Over decades, he embodied a dual life, loyal at home in appearance, but free to indulge in desire elsewhere. Mitchum eventually scaled back his philandering, though primarily due to aging and changing opportunity rather than a moral shift. 8. Warren Beatty, the one-man dating epidemic. Warren Beatty emerged during the decline of the studio system, but continued the golden age tradition of relentless womanizing, possibly even surpassing it. Biographers estimate his romantic conquests numbered in the thousands, and his strategy was methodical, studying women, tailoring approaches, and pursuing them with precision. Beatty's public persona as a sophisticated, feminist-friendly actor contrasted sharply with his private life, in which women were conquests. Yet in 1992, his narrative shifted dramatically. Marrying Annette Bening, Beatty embraced monogamy, raising 4 children and ending his decades-long spree. His story is Hollywood at its most dramatic, a life of relentless pursuit culminating in an unexpected twist toward stability and devotion. 9. William Holden, the Golden Boy's dark side. William Holden, the quintessential leading man, lived a life of complex contradictions. His marriage to Brenda Marshall lasted officially until 1971, but infidelity and alcoholism marked much of the relationship. Holden maintained affairs on nearly every film set, often discreetly. Alcohol worsened his impulsivity, leading to public embarrassments and further marital strain. Even relationships that involved genuine affection, like his later partnership with Stephanie Powers, were complicated by old habits and the shadow of past indulgences. Holden's death, a tragic accident exacerbated by alcohol, underscored the personal cost of his life choices. 10. John Wayne, the Duke's double standard. John Wayne was the iconic American hero, embodying rugged masculinity and moral clarity. But his private behavior, especially during his first marriage to Josephine Saenz, told a different story. Wayne believed infidelity on location didn't count, a philosophy that allowed him to maintain affairs without public scandal. His most famous affair with Marlene Dietrich was intense and well-known within Hollywood circles. Even as he publicly preached family values, his private conduct revealed a clear double standard, showing that the Duke's heroic image was, in many ways, carefully curated fiction. From Clark Gable to John Wayne, these 10 stars reveal a golden age of Hollywood that was dazzling on screen, but often morally compromised behind the scenes. Studios orchestrated cover-ups, celebrities compartmentalized private lives, and the public was none the wiser. Their stories highlight a timeless contradiction. The man who can play a hero may not live like one, and the allure of fame can mask the darkest human impulses. Hollywood's golden age may have ended decades ago, but these tales of desire, deception, and duality continue to captivate and caution us today.